Hey team, this is Miss Engelbert at Aubrey. Let's get our math toolkits updated by adding a table of contents entry on page 6. Please add today's date, 10/20. Today's notes title is histograms versus, that's a VS period, bar graphs. We've been comparing and contrasting histograms and bar graphs lately. Let's get some toolkit notes. We will be writing on page 21. Pause here if you need to. After your table of contents on page 6 is updated, please flip to page 21. The title of today's toolkit notes, as we just said, is histograms versus bar graphs. Please make sure on page 21 and that you add today's date of 10/20/20. All right, guys, please create 3 columns down your entire page. Try to make your first column the smallest. We don't have that much to write in our first column, and then make sure your second 2 columns are nice and big. We're going to title our columns. First column is going to be titled Comparison Terms, because it's going to be the terms we use to compare. I'm going to add a bottom line too. The middle column is going to be histogram. And the third column is going to be bar graphs. All right, let's get our first comparison term down. It's going to be type of data. For histograms, we work with numerical data. With bar graphs, we work with categorical data. Always, always is histogram always numerical data because it's on a number line, and bar graphs categorical data because along the bottom axis of our bar graphs is always words. All right, I am going to section this off with another horizontal line if you'd like to. Try to make yours nice and dark. All right, our first comparison is type of data is complete. Our second comparison is going to be spaces. Histograms, no spaces, right? There's no spaces in between the bars. Your bars are filling up the whole bin. Make sure you're with me. But there may be a gap in the data. That is possible to have a gap. That just represents 0 data values, but it still does not count as a space. Bar graphs have spaces between every bar. All right, I'm going to, so far I've had 4 lines for each comparison term. Yours can be relatively the same. 4 spaces for the next comparison term. Cool, sectioning off. Moving down to my third comparison term is going to be order. How the order of the bars go. For histograms, the order of the bars must be in numerical order. Right? We start at 0 and then we move up in our numbers on our number line on the histogram. For bar graphs, order doesn't matter. Order doesn't matter, right? They can be reordered. You could start out with whatever category you want as your first bar. Doesn't matter. All right, 4 lines for this term. Sweet. Our fourth and last comparison term is called number of bars. Number of bars. And we go to work with number of bars. In a histogram, it's based on the size of the bins, right? It's based on the size of the bins. Put in parentheses, please. Can change. You decide the size of your bins. Do you want your bins to be 5 numbers wide, 10, 20? You're deciding the size of your bins, so you can change them. For a bar graph, though, it's based on categories. Please put in parentheses, fixed. So if you only got 3 different word responses for your bar graph data, then you're only gonna have 3 bars. It's fixed, right? Fixed. Doesn't change. That's what that fixed means. If you wanna close off, oops, I went to 5 lines for this one. That's all right. If you wanna close off your last term, you are good to go. I'm going to zoom out so you can see the whole thing. Awesome job. A little bit of a longer notes taking for today, but you guys are awesome. Now you know the differences between histograms and bar graphs. Types of data is different, spaces is different, order is different, and number of bars is different. Nice job with notes today.